Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Rosalia and welcome to my world. And yes, this is a mini album. It's actually an envelope mini album. But the purpose of this video is to introduce a few techniques that I've learned that will add more interest to your mini album. This mini album is, the cover is made out of Cheerio box cardboard. The pages are made of envelope of a 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, and I use the Kathy Orta's hidden hinge. Okay, so that's the album. What I want to have you focus on is the different textures that the front cover has. First of all, it has metal. Okay, these gears. These are the chipboard gears that are cut from the Tim Holtz die. Okay, and there's a lot of texture here because I covered the chipboard with Mod Podged paper. This is dictionary paper that I Mod Podged on both sides, let it dry, and then cut them out. I took the chipboard, the gear chipboard, and covered it with that, and just glued it together. Up here I have a tissue paper that I also Mod Podge on both sides, and I do have a video on that, and it just adds a lot of texture, and I took it and I glued that together, and it gives it a lot of texture, a lot of interest. Here you have, what I have here is an image that I printed from online, and I laminated it. And when I laminated that piece, I only laminated the piece on one side only. Actually, let me show you this one. It's the same thing. This is a laminated piece. I laminated it only on one side, so you don't want to laminate the other side. It's paper. It's the image paper, and then glue goes on it, and it goes on any surface. And then I fuzzy cut it, and that's what you get. So that's that nice smooth texture. Okay, that's been the paper's been laminated. Then you have more tissue paper here, and the purpose was that I wanted to have the tissue paper, the Mod Podge tissue paper, without having to Mod Podge my whole surface, and I have a video on that also. Please check it out. So now you have a lot of texture here, and you don't have to Mod Podge everything. So you have metal, you have the gear with paper and tissue and laminated areas, and the Mod Podge look. Okay, the tissue look. Going further, I also came up with not having to cut my paper so precise. The artists, what I've seen that the artists do, they tell you to cut here and there, and everything is so nice and even and straight, and you put it down. Well, I thought of looking at, how would it look if I take and just tear the paper. So that's what I did. I tore the paper, and look at how nice that looks all around. Just at random, I tore it, and I made a pocket, and I dressed it up. Okay, just an image from online, and I took and I glued it up. This is the flowers from the tattered flowers from Tim Holtz, and I just did a little Mod Podge and a little gear. But look at my tag. I tore it, inked it. Okay, looks really nice. And then I also used some tissue, the Mod Podge tissue paper. Look at all the texture and the interest that adds to the album, and I just love that. All right, that's the idea behind that. My tag, check out my tag, all ripped, inked, beautiful. Tissue paper, this keyhole from key, and the keyhole from the Tim Holtz key, I think hardware. And you get this nice, interesting effect on that. Okay, you know about the gears. I just made a little flower. Again, it's laminated. This piece here, fuzzy cut an image. I don't care, whatever image paper that you have that you want to laminate, just make sure you laminate only the top. This here opens up, and I want to draw your attention to this laminated tissue, red tissue here. I cut out a flower. This is the petal. As you can see, that's one of the petals, but look at the negative and how much interest it adds to that page. Negative right here. I took, and after you cut it on your dot, you cut your paper, and you're left with that, and when you fuzzy cut around it, this is what you're left with. And you just layer them. You just take it. I have a video on that. Check it out. This here is just a piece of cardstock. Look at that torn paper. Lots of interest to that piece of folded paper there, and a little, just an image that I added to that. Look at this here. Again, just a tag. And this is a little piece that I found while I was fixing up, and I just threw it in there. But it adds interest. Okay, just adds interest to your, people just look at it. And again, a little piece of torn paper that I just glued on that. Okay, and that's on that page. On this, again, here you have another pocket that I just tore and inked. Really nice. Just a tag, no biggie. Here I used a key, and I covered it again. I covered it with paper. It is chipboard or, you know, cardboard, and I used it as a little pocket there. Again, my negative flowers. I put a little metal piece there, and the inside a piece of paper I ripped to make it a pocket. This is laminated, again, just one side, and you can write whatever you want in there. Put a little photo, and you have that look. This here is the dictionary paper, Mod Podge both sides. Let it dry completely. I add a little piece of paper, and look at the texture, look at the interest on that. Look at the interest on that. And it feels really good. It's not just, you know, it doesn't feel like paper. It feels like plastic or something. There go my pocket all torn up. Lots of interest. This here, I did a belly band, and I tore it on one side. Oops, sorry. I tore it on one side. Took my piece, this is my tag. I tore it up, inked it. That's my tag. Put a little piece of paper on top of there. A little interest on the tissue paper. Look how nice that goes. That's just a lot of nice things to look at. Tissue paper. This opens up really crazy here. Laminated. Okay. Tissue paper. Look how nice. Let me turn it over here. Oh, we saw that already. Then you have an image that I laminated, made it into a pocket. All right, that opens like that. Pockets, pockets, pockets all over. And then you have this area here. These are all pockets. Again, another piece of tissue. Just looks really nice. Okay, and that's all to that one. I'll bring your attention to this belly band. I just cut a regular belly band, but look at the stopper. The stopper I made out of the flower of the Tim Holtz. You know, wrinkled it all up. You don't have to, but anyway. And then I fold it in half, glued it to the bottom, and I got a stopper. And I put a little glitter glue around it, and it's a stopper. This piece, let me bring your attention to this piece here, because the keyhole that I showed you, this is the negative. I thought it just showed a little nice image. I think I'm going to be called the negative scrapbooker. And this is the tissue paper. I wrapped it all the way around, but it is a pocket. So this is a pocket out of tissue paper, the tissue paper with the Mod Podge all over. And this is just the inside. Nothing major there, but this is what's really new. Lots of texture, just wonderful, and it feels really good. The flower from Tim Holtz. Okay, layered it up, and it's a pocket. Well, you know, whatever sliding pocket they call it. Look at the tag. Nothing major, but look at the interest out of the ripped paper. It adds to your tags. It just adds a lot of texture and interest to your tags. And this one here, I believe I did something to this one. This tag, I did. I just folded this over and stapled it. I thought that added a little bit of interest to it too. I just stapled it, and a little piece of scrap just tore, you know, it was torn, and I just used it as a corner. And then at the back, I did some new dictionary paper, and then I put this little piece in. It just feels so good with all that texture in it. So that's a tag. Okay, so we discussed the stopper. This, I'm almost done. This is it. This here, I have to tell you, that's my favorite page here. It's the back. I like the way everything went in even there. But I took the paper and I measured this so they could fold just like this, one smaller than the next. So I put the larger one, then the medium, then the smaller. I ripped them so they can go on an angle that way, inked it up, crunched, wrinkled it all up, and then laid it down. So I have this pocket here. I have this pocket here. And then I have this pocket here. Okay, but let me draw your attention to this little tag here. piece of image that I glued up another piece of paper to it. I tore it there. I tore it there in the front. Look how cute. All right, and you ink it up, and that is a tag, and it just shows a lot, gives it a lot of interest on that also. So this is all about interesting small techniques. So you don't have to cut your paper so precise. Go ahead and think about tearing your paper here and there. And I hope that this really inspired you to use, you know, different techniques. So go ahead and scrap away and tear away. Thank you. Bye.